Marshall, Ray,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Okay, next is the clerk's report. Trustee Ball reviewed the clerk's report, but, no question on it, except for, entertain a motion to accept the clerk's report.
I make a motion for a second. Second.
You got a motion, second?
Dennis,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Robert, Marge, Ray,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
And next is the treasurer's report.
Mary, look like we're already doing some of our carry over.
Yes, I got one sheet that I usually give y'all. You'll have the general and road. We do appreciate it, the extra efforts that you there.
Yeah, I think it's important, but,
Some of them, they said the treasurer's report.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion and second.
Al, Gary,
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Marge, Ray,
Yes.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Chris, Dennis,
Yes.
Okay, next up, we had this tornado on the 26th of May, a disaster declaration. And so Jeremy, our OEM, has done an extensive amount of work, making sure that we have the correct, right amount of relief effort from AIDA. And we have, FEMA is in our area now. And so, I'd like to, Jerry would like to make an OEM report.
I get up here closer where I'm gonna have to be loud, maybe we'll cut that down some videos, make 7 minutes left here. Like I said, May 26, 2024, my day started about 1:30 in the morning. I've got my phone set up for any alerts for things coming into Eaton County, Dixie, Fulton County. So once it started getting back to county, I was up on the web. Started phone call conversation about 4 o'clock that morning with, different news agencies, and then the judge talked up there after he kind of got just a little scared. Then it was, a whole day of getting out, getting around, doing that with the judge. We went and kind of looked at the stuff, went out there, walked out, go ahead there, them, make sure that road's open, and then I was contacting the state, reaching out to them, kind of making a verbal declaration that we would have an emergency here. It's going to validate, so we have to do a written declaration. We had also been in contact with the G Fire Department. They were working in the Center Point Loop area, which was probably some of our worst hit roads on that side, straight across the lake in March Trail, where it's full again. Other than that, I had a couple fire departments and different individuals reaching out on this assistance. G wasn't requiring any assistance after they had already reached out to the Forestry Service and got them to come over to help open up some roads. So at request, they asked for the OE coordinator over in Patrick County. I hooked those two folks up, and there was a group of Greenville Fire Department, a few other individuals that went over to Patrick County and assisted them with their efforts of trying to get over into the Sellville area and stuff like that. They did go with working in full cooperation with the county. So we kind of had a large group effort, but it just wasn't that well there in termination order, because in the disaster, you've got IA and PA, you got individual assistance and public assistance. I wasn't sure that we were gonna have enough houses qualify for individual assistance, because in primary kind of damage assessment, I looked at 13 major sites that were not affected. Out of that, in my preliminary, I had 3 that were gonna be completely lost. And there was gonna be 6 that had minor damage or just affected, and 4 majors. As in, when FEMA finally did in town, me, a lady from the state, I did take Kelsey from the road department, we went around and looked at some of the stuff, because Kelsey knew where the roads were, that we had already worked on some of the stuff that was outside the normal range, and looked at that. We looked at some assistance on repairing the roads after forestry, and everybody else went in and shoved stuff off, or was hauling gravel off the roads. So we looked at that, we did come over with that with, Jason Brown, with Arkansas Electric. He kind of helped guide him with that, and make them understand that they did not have to reach that state threshold of $5.7 million of damage in order to qualify for assistance. They just had to reach each county threshold, and full county had to reach our threshold, which is $55,375. So that got us pushed through to qualify for a federal disaster, just because the damage that North Arkansas Electric occurred from this storm. Upon all that, we had another group of FEMA folks come in for individual assistance, and they were not sure we were gonna do it, but whenever we did do the public assistance folks, bless her heart, she pulled the strings best she could, and, next thing I know, it was June 13th, we got a declaration at about midnight on the 13th. Of course, the next morning, the wheels turn slow when they turn in big turns. And so my days here lately have been a lot of morning briefings with FEMA, reaching out to the state, and kind of making sure that people are going to get the assistance that they need. We're looking at setting up a DRC and DSA, which is some disaster recovery center, disaster survival assistance office. It will probably be here in the courthouse. That way people that have been affected can come in and get signed up, and just trying to help people, whatever they need, they can get that. I know that on my side of it, we are a large rural area. We do have lots of timber that we have. Most of the people that have farms use that timber as a crop to kind of pay for fertilizer and further from the land. Been trying to get that money to the state, and I'm seeing some return on that. We're getting some assistance through the Farm Service Agency to help for people to redo the fences, and then get some payments for timber loss and all that. I don't know that will happen, but we're trying to push it that way. Other than that, if we stand up the office in here, I anticipate it being about 60 days from the time we stand up, that we'll have FEMA representatives in here and from different agencies, Small Business Administration, they'll be signing people up. I figure stand up to close out, it's going to be about 60 days on that. I know if right now, they do go around knocking on doors Saturday. I come up here and met with a couple of ladies that are going around to each household knocking on doors so far. This morning they had knocked on 14 houses that had signed up. They stopped knocking on 21 doors all. The individual household program, which is part of the stuff they do to cover individuals' homes, their average funding that they had seen just on preliminary stuff was $14,530.10 per site. There's 14 sites there, so that will be a little bit of relief for some citizens of Fulton County. There's some other needs assessments that was done. The average on them was like $14,642.87. That covers a wide scope of stuff, so it's not just necessarily health or their insurance or whatever. It's other things. So that can be any questions.
Any questions, thank you, Jeremy. Okay, next up, the road department report.
Everybody hear me all right? I'd like to bring you guys a report, our second quarter road report for 2024. And beginning of April, April, we completed our Bayou Access grant that we've been working on, and, that's for Arkansas Game and Fish, and we've got that completed in the beginning of April. Also in April, we ordered our yearly supply of grater blades, we've got those in yesterday, and, we usually use about 250 grater blades a year. We switched to a heavier, thicker grater blade, and that's allowed us to use less grater blades, and we've not had one break yet, so, we're saving the county money on that. And then in May, we get into a pretty rough month. May 26th, as we talked about, you know, the county was struck by these tornadoes, and 16 of our county roads were hit very heavy. They was heavily impacted, and 6 of the roads were severely damaged. And we've had a crew. We started out with most all the hands, and then we've kind of thinned it out to one crew that just kept on clearing debris. And today, they cleared their last 5 dump truck loads of debris. What I'm calling debris is trees. And altogether, we hauled 125 big dump truck loads of trees off of our county roads. Just kind of give you an idea of the devastation that we've got. Because of this, our 8 grader crews have fell behind, and please be patient. I'm asking the community to please be patient with us. I know that many roads are still barely even passable, and our guys are running very hard to get through to you, to get to your road. And again, I apologize for any inconvenience. And to get down to a personal note, I would like to personally thank all the volunteers that got out and helped their neighbors. So many volunteers got out with chainsaws and helped get their neighbors trees off their houses, trees off their driveways, you know. And I just want to personally thank you, whether you got a chainsaw out, whether you brought your neighbors some food, some water, whether you helped them out monetarily, whatever you've done and volunteered in our community, thank you, thank you. And some of our residents are still dealing with wreckage from these storms. And if you'd like to help them in any way, if you want to reach out to us, we can get you in personal contact with those folks. But please, let's keep these families in our prayers and support them and show them they're not facing this alone, because that's the kind of community we are. And that's what makes me to be proud to be a resident of Fulton County. Thank you.
Josh? Okay, I'll move on to, some bit of old business. Some things here, continue the courthouse remodel. We gotta fix the echo in here, and we're gonna get, painting down in the offices downstairs, should happen by the end of next week. And then, put the floor in after that, and paint the courthouse. That'll be the last thing we do, the outside. I enrolled another bridge in the, local bridge program, at Smith Ford Bridge. The feasibility studies are going on with the Cold Access Bridge and the Mount Calm Bridge. And, I wanted to enroll this Smith Ford Bridge, and then the Morriston Bridge would be next. And of course, you know, nothing happens fast, so that means these things are gonna probably come to fruition about, 4 or 5 years from now, okay? And so, but you gotta start now to get it done, in the future.
Have they started any of the, looking at Cold Front Bridge?
Yes, yeah, that's what, and I'm waiting on the paperwork to come down. I signed the agreement and waiting on the affirmation on that, okay? All right. Any more questions on the local bridge program? Okay. Next, we'll move on to new business. We discussed the May 26th disaster declaration. Next is a new fund creation for juvenile drug court grant, 3533. So if you will read that. Ordinance.
Fulton County Ordinance 2024-07, being enacted by the Court of Fulton County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the juvenile drug court grant and to declare an emergency. Article one, and comes before the court that there is need to establish a juvenile drug court grant fund on the books of the county treasurer and county clerk to track revenues made available to juvenile drug court. This court recognizes and affirms the need for such a fund to properly account for and control all such revenues allowed and expenditures made. Article two, establishment of fund. There is hereby created on the books of Fulton County Treasurer and the books of the Fulton County Clerk, a special revenue grant fund to be known as the Juvenile Drug Court Grant Fund. The fund number is 3534 and as assigned by Arkansas Legislative Audit. Any transfer codes, office department codes, and expenditure codes are to be assigned locally using the county financial management system per the direction of the Arkansas Legislative Audit. Article three, operation of fund. The Juvenile Drug Court Grant Fund is subject to all the normal county budgeting, appropriation, and expenditure regulations of Title 14 of Arkansas Code annotated and the county financial management system. Article four, emergency clause. It is found by the court that juvenile drug court grant is imminent or already received, making it necessary to establish the juvenile drug court grant fund in order to properly track the revenue and appropriated expenditures. Therefore, an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from the date of passage and approval.
Okay, with that being read, I'll accept the motion to enact the ordinance.
I make a motion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll have.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna say that, right?
Robert made a motion. Chris second for the first reading, which we done. So now we need a motion.
Need a motion
and
for the second reading?
a title.
I don't,
I make a motion.
Second reading by title.
An ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Juvenile Drug Court Grant and to declare an emergency.
you know, I'll accept the motion for the third.
We
Go ahead.
did vote on the first reading. This is on the first reading. Gary,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Marge. Ray.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Chris. Dennis. Al. And this is on the second reading by title only. Robert.
Yes.
Marge. Ray.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Al. Gary.
Yes.
Now,
Okay. Now accept the motion for the third reading.
by title only.
Make a motion.
Second.
An ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Juvenile Drug Court Grant to declare an emergency. Marge. Ray.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Al.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Robert.
Okay. Okay.
Was that number accepted one?
2024-07.
Your next up, yes, I'll give you. Okay, very good.
You got it, I'm pretty sure you did, but everybody else, that read their emails, had that.
And there's a letter with that, saying on that, on the same page, saying,
And we have received $10,000 from ADA from the donations of Arkansas Disaster Relief Program. And, so that's for our disaster, victims, for distribution to those folks. And so we just go ahead and, read the ordinance.
Fort County Ordinance 2024-08, being enacted by the Court of Fulton County, State of Arkansas. An ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Arkansas Emergency Management. This court recognizes and affirms the need for such a fund to properly account for and control all such revenues allowed and expenditures made. Article 2, Establishment of Fund. There is hereby created on the books of the Fulton County Treasurer and the books of the Fulton County Clerk a special revenue grant fund to be known as the Arkansas Disaster Relief Grant Fund. The fund number is 3540 and is assigned by Arkansas Legislative Audit. Any transfer codes, office department codes, and expenditure codes are to be assigned locally using the county financial management system per the direction of the Arkansas Legislative Audit. Article 3, Operation of Funds. The Arkansas Disaster Relief Grant Fund is subject to all the normal county budgeting, appropriation, and expenditure regulations of Title 14 of Arkansas Code and annotated in the county financial management system. Article 4, Emergency Clause. It is found by this court that the Arkansas Disaster Relief Grants imminent or already received, making it necessary to establish the Arkansas Disaster Relief Grant Fund in order to properly track the revenue and appropriated expenditures. Therefore, an emergency is declared to exist, and this order shall be in full force and effect from the date of passage and approval.
Entertain a motion to enact the ordinance.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Okay,
This is the first
it's
reading.
first reading, okay, I accept the motion to, read by title only, second.
Wait, we got a motion, I didn't hear a second. Jimmy, we got a vote on it. First reading. Ray?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Chris? Dennis?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
Marge? Now, second reading, title only.
Accept the motion for second reading by title only. Motion there, we have a second.
Second.
An ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Arkansas Disaster Relief Grant Fund and to declare an emergency.
Okay, you can vote there.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
Marge? Ray?
Yes.
Okay, entertain a motion for third reading by title only.
So moved.
Got a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Chris?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
I want to read time. An ordinance to establish a special revenue grant fund to be called the Arkansas Disaster Relief Grant Fund to declare an emergency. Okay, Chris?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
Marge? Ray?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance enacted. Okay, next up is, so we had a personal policy committee meeting, and so Gary, just a couple of very minor, changes to the policy.
Yeah, I handed out a couple of changes, it'd be hard for you to probably find the changes. One of them is page 12, and section E, to rehire employees, the current policy says within 180 days, and there was a motion to change it to 365 to make it a year. So a current employee can be rehired within a year. And I don't know if we want to vote on these tonight or wait till next month, just explain it tonight.
Just go with it unless I have a question.
These, are not, this is not an ordinance, it's just our county policy, but it has to be approved by the court. And that actually is the second amendment on the very last page, issues not addressed by the personnel policy, page 39. Adding the phrase, any exception to this policy must be approved by the court. So those were the two changes that the committee had.
And the issue for the rehired employees was 180 days, but a retired member of the county has to stay on the bench for 180 days before they can be rehired. So, they would fall outside of the 6-month window, so the retired member would come in and make it back to $11 an hour. This way, they'd, have a full year, provided
And then page 39 was adding that phrase that any exception to this policy must be approved by the court. So those are the only two changes. We had a lot of discussions, but those are the only two amendments made or proposed.
Make a motion, we accept it.
You got a motion?
I say,
No. What, do you have any specific questions about it? Okay. Anybody else wanna wait, or do you wanna do?
Have a motion, I'll second it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say, no, wait.
Was there a motion on the floor?
Well, it's a motion,
I was-
go ahead.
No, I was. Yeah, I was.
You
the
want to
motion
say?
to postpone the next one?
There's no emergency, that's.
Okay, very well.
I think there was a motion on the floor.
Al and Chris have made a motion to table to next month.
Or postpone definitely. So,
All right.
Dennis? Al? Gary?
yes.
Robert? Marge? Ray?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Chris?
Okay, next up is, we have a vacancy on the library board. Ms. Donna York resigned her position, and so I would like to recommend Corey Curtis to the board. She comes highly recommended, and so she'd like to be a member of the library board, and so I put that up to y'all to put her on the board.
What was the name again?
Corey Curtis.
Corey Curtis.
She's sitting in the back. Okay, you got it.
I second.
Motion second to appoint Corey Curtis to the library board. Al? Gary?
Yes.
Robert?
Yes.
Marge? Ray?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Chris? Dennis?
Okay. Very good.
One of those lines that I asked, when is the high school board appointment?
That'll,
In July?
yes, July.
I was thinking it was a month after.
Yes, it's July. So, okay, well, congratulations, Corey. So you'll need to see, Vicky down there to swear
You'll
in.
need, you'll need to see Sarah first. She'll send you an order, and then after you get that order, come in and swear in.
Next up is a resolution. Resolution authorizing county judge, Fulton County, to enter into a contract for the Fulton County Water Improvement Project. I believe I gave out to every one of you a copy of that.
Hold on, we need-
I'll leave you the card.
Resolution number 202402, a resolution authorizing the county judge of Fulton County, Arkansas to enter into a contract with Fulton County Water Improvement Project. Whereas Fulton County, the Fulton County Water Authority have received bids for the construction of Phase 5 extension. A portion of the funding for the project is being provided by the grant from the Arkansas Economic Development Commission, AEDC, awarded to Fulton County. All bids have been reviewed and recommendation for award has been made by the engineer. And whereas it is necessary for the county judge to sign the construction contract prior to execution of the work. Now therefore, it is resolved that the Court of Fulton County, Arkansas hereby declares that the county judge be authorized to execute a contract with NLS Construction of Rosebud, Arkansas
paid for by AEDC grant. So we, the county, for the pool, well, that's, sitting up north part of the county. Mhm. Okay, we got a motion, we have a second. Okay, we got a motion, second.
When are we going to, see, because we will have to appropriate that for our general church.
And, you know, this is a White River,
This is just a resolution,
it is a resolution. Okay.
once we get the money.
Yeah, I want to get the money.
Gary,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Marge. Ray.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yep.
Chris. Dennis. Al. 2024-02.
Okay, next up is appropriation for the sheriff's department for $6,790. The sheriff's department drug fund, law enforcement.
It's Drug Control Fund Ordinance 2006. This is a grant that they have received. Yeah, it's just something they received. Well, it's not a grant, I'm just, they've got go ahead, Jack, it's not a grant.
It's that fund, that drug fund we have, that we have to use to be real specific on. I had to get permission from the drug director to be able to use that money. It's money we can't use otherwise. We were just looking at some equipment we could replace, so we had to get their blessing to be able to appropriate that money into one of the lines that we could pay for what we bought it.
Motion second.
Just appropriating money from one place to another place.
This will be, miscellaneous. Robert.
Yes.
Marge. Ray. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Al. Gary.
Yes.
Okay.
Juvenile drug court grant.
Yeah, we got the juvenile drug court grant.
That's that fund that we just set up. Needing an appropriation for $1,800, and that is a grant.
Okay.
Make a motion, need a motion?
Got a motion, we need a second, got it?
Marge. Yes. Ray. Jimmy.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Al. Gary.
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Next is the total
No,
appropriation.
we got that 10,000, we got to appropriate for that disaster.
We
We did the ordinance, and we got to make the appropriation.
All right, next up is the appropriation of $10,000 that we need the ordinance for. For the money received from ADM for relief assistance. Got a motion, got a second?
I second.
Ray. Jimmy.
Yes.
Chris. Dennis.
Yes.
Al. Gary.
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Marge. Total appropriation will be $18,590, and that'll be on ordinance 2024-09.
Make the motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Robert, second.
That's on ordinance 2024-09. Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know what the, comment meant.
Yeah,
Yeah, mind if I,
go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, sir. I try to take this to the state's attention, and by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Marcos Lozari. I'm considered a veteran, and I was a firefighter in Glen Coast Fire Department, and I take our president's word seriously in the past, like Kennedy said, that's not what you can do, you know, for somebody, what you do for your country, and I take that to heart. And so I offer my services not only just to the county, you guys, but also the county. Well, what I'm trying to do is for the upcoming Independence Day parade, I would like, if I asked the state if they could do this, if they could somehow apply funding where they could purchase so many books, and then they could be passed out at a parade or whatnot, and what have you. And I believe every American should have one of these books. I think it's fundamental to the know-how, to the knowledge of knowing, you know, our country, you know, it's a sacred text, you know, it's kind of, it's not similar to the Bible, but it is a sacred text, you know. It's what our country was built on, I believe, every American. So I asked the state if they could, if you don't know, if you go to ashbrook.org, that's where you can buy the books at. They're only $1 a book. The $1 a book. And I talked to them. They said that if you purchase 1,000 or more, they'll drop it down to 75 cents a book. And I got them to do that. But I was just wondering if somehow there could be possible funding to, because I don't have that time at the moment. I bought so many and I passed out so many myself. I was wondering if there could be some type of funding so that way you can pass them out to the citizens, and no better way than 4th of July or if that's used today. But thank you.
Any discussion or comment on that?
So do you have a place where individuals can donate to this, or is there any way?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a possible way of possibly setting up one. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking just to pass them out. You know, that was my main, I guess, conquest.
I know several groups that would probably be interested in supporting this, but we have to do place for them. I think it's a good idea.
I think, I'm trying to get a copy of it, put it on the website. You know, if you can access it on our website. We'll see about that, okay? Any other comments?
Yeah, let's, the sheriff is here, you know, we're at least to our permit. And, well, we really increased the budget a lot this last year, raises and things like that. A lot of those mandated ones by the state, the 10% raise to elected officials and stuff, but it is needed, I'm paying that. But, you know, when you look around, tell you that a community is only as good as its law enforcement. If you don't have law enforcement, you have what they have in Los Angeles, where you can go in and you can steal $1,000 worth of stuff, and you're not even prosecuted for it, you know, and it isn't safe. You know, you have to have good law enforcement. It's the key to any community, it's the backbone of the community, is good law enforcement. And I was lucky that I had all support, you know, when I was there. But I can tell you, that if you get over 24 inmates in that thing, you've got a very dangerous situation. And what that also stands for is liability for us. But I know that that some people have been here, that jail experts that build jails, and they have gone over that thing, and they have made a recommendation. I am not interested in any further taxation of our people at all. But very soon to have a solution that we might be able to do it without putting an extra tax burden on the existing law that we have. Now, we're talking about quite a bit of money, and those jails are prohibitively expensive. I don't believe they're as expensive as the cost of not having a proper jail, you know, to house people who are dangerous to the community. Anyway, with that said, I'm gonna let him have the floor, and he's gonna tell you what's been done and what the recommendations been made. But we're gonna have to do some things to start making some money. And you know, the sheriff, the judge, the treasurer have got together, and I have a couple of friends that are sheriffs of counties that one close to him, who was the sheriff of Dallas County, in the Southwest County. And he's housed federal prisoners for many, many years. And it's a small county, they have 4 deputies there. And his budget runs over $1 million like that, for the sheriff's department. He makes all of his budget because he houses federal inmates there. Plus he turns over $1 million a year back to the county government in excess money that he makes from housing federal inmates. Now, Jay tells me that the feds won't guarantee you, but they said, yeah, we'll use you, we can build it, we will use it. And they pay up to $85 a day. It's from 60, I think, to 85 every month. But anyway, if we could do something like that, and house 25 or so federal inmates, you know, that would bring us in, you know, a gross of, you know, probably over $500,000, but it would probably net you something over $200,000 over time. Because we're gonna have a lot of some of it all. You know, we've got guys that's been on this thing like Jimmy and like Chris, that have gone through times when the county judge had to go to make a sale and sign personal notes along with the treasurer, boy, he could bother incur there to make payroll. We're going to get back in a situation like that. You know, we're going to have to find, you know, sales tax is one of the greatest things, but in the absence of sales tax, because we don't have a lot of commerce, we don't have a lot of businesses here. And we're going to have to do some things that, you know, you know, I want to bring up a taboo to y'all, and y'all probably disagree with this, but I'm the most competent person here to talk about this. In 2018, y'all didn't know this, but I received the State Highway Commission award for abating impaired drivers in the state of Arkansas. I was the recipient for that award. I've arrested hundreds of DWIs in my career. I think they're serial killers. Did them, do that. But I want to tell y'all something. If any of you in here think that you're preventing anything by keeping us in Dry County, you're delusional.
you trip over the damn stuff you want when you go in there in the hallways and people you're shopping. What I'm telling y'all is, what are we doing to ourselves here? Is this a good idea to do this? You know, I don't care if it's a sacrificial lamb, I'm not gonna argue for it. And I'm not mad at anybody disagrees with it. I'm just telling you that this is what I did for a living for 43 years, and there's no one that's arrested as many people in this, ever been anybody that's arrested as many people, the guys I have, because I've arrested hundreds. But you're not preventing anything. You may be causing it to be worse, because when they went wet, we could have had to pay out in the house. Drunk drivers. I talked to other county sheriffs that said that their DWI rate went down. Hey, it's right here, his officers can monitor closely about the kids, because they're working. Hey, the parents are lying for them, and they always have. Because they did it that way because they wanted their kid to be supervised. Makes sense, because they're gonna do it anyway. You're not gonna stop it. You know, when you can possess something legally, you can consume it legally. How the hell are you gonna stop it? You just can't buy it here, so we don't get the sales tax. We clean up the trash, we deal with the trash, we deal with the drunks. Both sides of us, North of us, need to correct. They get sales tax. Yeah, I understand the church's views on it. I don't disagree with them or anything like that. I'm just saying you're not preventing anything by doing this at all. And let me tell you something. I know what I'm talking about because I know my community. If this gets on the ballot, it will win big time because it will help your community create some sales tax that we need. You'll sell other things that are ancillary to the alcohol sales. Hey, I didn't vote for that dispensary over there on the east side of this thing. I don't promote that in any way. But you know what? I'm glad it's there because if it wasn't there in Fulton County, it would be down there by the liquor store across the line. And it's suspected that that thing brings in $12,000 to $13,000 a year in sales tax for Fulton County. Glad it's there. We need that money, you know. But we don't have a lot of commerce in this community. It's because of the way we think. I'm not criticizing anybody for wanting to keep it dry. I'm just saying you're not accomplishing anything by keeping it dry. If I thought for 1 second that it would save one life or prevent one kid from having an accident, I tell you what, I'd be so opposed to it going with. But the bottom line is, y'all, that is not the case at all. I don't know why we're doing this. It would create some jobs, it would create more commerce, more sales tax. And let me tell you something you might get cases. They're probably not gonna come here because you won't let them sell beer. You know. If Bob Woods, nobody has contributed any more sales tax to this community than Denny Walsh, Bob Woods, and Sonny Chapman. Hey, I work that thing over there with them. They do an excellent job taking care of that river. They have thousands of people come to that thing to enjoy the weekend. They drive it, correct me if I'm wrong, anything, but they come in there with truckloads of beer. And if any of you run through the light, so right. Because they're not going to come there if you don't right. Because they're going to come there and they're going to drink their beer on the river. Well, you know what? I've been over there before. There is no telling how many that I have hauled out over there that got a DWI road warrant. DWI. That's like this. Does it make sense to y'all that if they came over there and Bob could sell them that alcohol, that beer, they're not going to have to get their vehicle and drive back to town to get more after they're already drunk? Because they're going to do that. They're going to go there, they're going to go Sharp County and get it, they're going to drive drunk on our roads. We would get the sales tax from that, he would get the benefit of that. And Bob didn't put me up this, he wasn't going to talk about this. But if he could sell that stuff, it would help him out, and it would help you out if your family's on the road. Because that person might not be out there on that road, drunk. It would make a lot more sense to let them come in there, buy their beer from Denny or from Bob or from Sonny. We would get some sales tax from that. They could sell it at their stores, and it would keep several DWIs I'm not gonna push this. I'm just telling you that I'm looking through the window of knowledge here, because this is what I did for a living. Like I said, I was a 2018 Highway Safety Commission recipient of their award for combating impaired driving in Howard State, Arkansas. I never did say anything to anybody about it. I have a beautiful crystal award that's on my mantle at home. I'm proud of it, because I've got my rear end kicked a lot of times by drunk drivers and stuff that I had to fight, you know, with injuries and stuff like that. I got them off the road. You know what? It would have to be done by petition to get it on the ballot. I don't call that a table. I'm just saying, there's so many drives out there. You know, we don't have this, we don't have that. Whether you agree with me or you disagree with me. I don't know anybody that disagrees with me. But on what basis would you disagree with me? You're not going to increase availability of alcohol to kids by having liquor stores. It's still against the law to do it. They're going to get it anyway. I've talked to too many. There's never a hard thing for them to do. It's not difficult to do. But if we don't start looking at some other options to fund this county, then we're going to at some point probably have to cut services or something. You know, and the reason that these other counties obviously why they have money is because they have businesses that generate sales tax. That's my spiel on that. And with that, the sheriff's going to talk about what he knows about this jail expansion and what the experts say. Do whatever y'all want to as far as what I just said on that. Like I said, I don't agree with sacrificial methods and what we're talking about in this deal. You're not representing anything like keeping this county dry as far as alcohol consumption and drunk alcohol. You're not preventing anything. It will not increase it at all.
Well, I inquire as far as, it doesn't make sense for us to be able to buy marijuana in our county, but we can't buy beer, And, so there's argument, well, we're already getting that alcohol tax. And we are to a certain extent, because that's where state turnback comes from. It's part of that alcohol tax, with the gas tax, okay, it's broken down into the county. The problem is, we have 300 more miles of dirt road than Baxter County, 200 more miles of dirt road than Israel County, 100 more miles of dirt road than Sharp County. But when the turnback is broke down, it's not broke down on how many dirt road miles you have. It's broke down by population. Okay?
Exactly.
So because we're a economically distressed county, we need to explore every avenue to get some revenue. Now, I inquired about how much sales tax that the dispensary provides each month. It's actually $12,000 a month. Okay? So what it is, it's not necessarily the alcohol. Of course, they have the alcohol sales, and we get the cans and the bottles. Okay? But it's the other stuff people purchase with their alcohol. Okay? It's the ice, it's the coolers, and that's what people do. They stop at Ash Flat, they gas up, they beer up, cooler up, ice up, all that stuff, and they ride right through our county, and we get done. Okay? So, it's definitely worth exploration, okay? But I believe in our state of affairs, we need to leverage anything we can leverage.
I think so too.
And some, some sense about it.
If I go to the liquor store and buy my life beer, which I promise I would never do that in my lifetime, when we get married, we get rowdy, we do things, my wife and me, and I'm scared. So I go in occasionally, it's embarrassing me to go in there and buy some beer. I don't drink beer. I pour back and forth. I don't use it at all. I had to go for 43 years without drinking one. Why the hell start that? Because I was on call 24/7, and I took it seriously. And I wanted to be, with my little league of mine, I wanted to be as frank as I could be. I didn't want to be any influence. If I had to make a life and death decision, which I had to make those decisions on the spur of the moment. But the bottom line is it embarrasses me to go in there. I know many people who are devout church members, and they're going to be good people. And they won't support this but on the other hand, they drink beer, and I know that when they go fishing and stuff like that. So, that's I understand it embarrasses me conditions that won't name it without seeking the building. Let me tell you something, I've talked to too many people, the first group of people throughout the county, in almost every field, and it will pass. It will pass. It's the normal thing to do.
So let's continue, go ahead.
I'll be real quick. The judge and I both, we've talked to some architects, we've been discussing, visited with the treasurer about, what the possibilities are on jail expansion. Right now, we don't meet our needs in the county for obtaining, our misdemeanor justices. No, it doesn't exist because we don't have the space to house misdemeanors or student felons. A county our size, typically, Claxton County, most have at least 100 beds. You know, I'm not looking for that right out the gate. I think what we're capable of is a bit less. We've got about, I think, 3.2 million is maybe what the current bond can handle, if I remember what Barry told me. The architect I talked to, he suggested, you know, do it in phases, essentially start with a 25-bed expansion. Notify the federal, the feds that we didn't have space, we could take them in, we could start housing, start generating some revenue. They wouldn't start up with us on an $85 a day, we'll have to, you know.
When would be around 60 when we start?
Well, what's that?
It should be around 60 when we start, but that's what's up the law, or 50, what do we say?
Well, they're different size jails house different numbers. It's anywhere from 25 to hundreds if you're in Green County.
I mean, per inmate.
Oh, the dollar, yeah, it starts at about $60 a day, so 25, that's 538,000.
Yeah, you know, at first we talked about housing 50 of them.
Yeah.
Big house, and if we can house 50 of them, they're gonna generate over $1 million a year.
Yeah, so,
The
yeah,
jail itself.
I'm getting too far off in details. The vision is this: if we do the expansion, we can generate enough revenue to put that jail in a situation where it finances itself. We will no longer be dependent upon our general funds to support that thing. So, you know, staff and housing, all the costs that are associated with the jail, and even potentially one day generating a surplus. And that's the goal, and that's the ultimate vision. Simply put, without getting off into the weeds and details of what architects say, is that, it's gonna take us all for a while. It will be easy.
What, you're talking about a 25-bed facility, right now?
Essentially, yeah, adding in phases. With the money that we're gonna have available, the best architect that I've been talking to get us to, he's getting us in the ballpark, he's at $4 million right now. They've done all this free, they've done some work for us, we haven't sent them a penny. But right now, that's what he can get us. He said, he tells me I'm doing this on the high side for you, so that, you know, there's not a surprise. Should we, you know, do a resolution or whatever we need to do to move forward. But so he's getting us close, and he's setting, the idea is he sets it in phases, so there will be an addition, one part built. It would help support the additional staff and other money. Then the next phase would convert some of the old parts of the sheriff's office into storage, kitchen facility, and laundry service, which will have to naturally grow. They're very small. It's all there for 25 people.
I guess my first question is like additional staff, how much additional staff you got to hire for this?
So initially, it would take one additional jailer per shift. And so that would be $150,000, I think, annually for those 4 people. From that crowd, off the top of my head, what's our base package? I can't remember. It's, I think it costs us about $70,000 for total package.
For a jailer? For a jailer, is it?
Well,
That's just the salary.
yeah, the
Insurance.
total.
Retirement.
Everything is their total cost to the county. So when I'm thinking about an employee, I'm
It
thinking
sounds about right.
higher. So yeah, just our base level employee, that's about what it costs us. And so, those additional, so basically that revenue that starts coming in, it's gonna start paying those salaries and easing just big enough for now. You know, I don't know how long that would meet our needs, but it would give us the space then to, take a few more federal on, another, 10 beds or so for some, more of our family homes and those things, and then, leave us a pod for misdemeanors and things like that.
You may have said that we're gonna have a shell tank before we have now.
We're looking, it's probably
2 years.
2.5 years. But I wish I had that, I know with the payments, like an additional about $150,000 a year. I believe last time I was looking back 2.5 years.
Yeah, last time we talked. And that's a great thing, because I guess the bond generates enough that would pay us over, if we pay extra on that thing, is that not correct? And so we're scheduled to actually pay it off as it is early, but when that bond expires, it's my understanding, it goes.
It was sunset, there ain't nothing, whether you add on or not.
Right,
Because what you have to do is reissue another bond.
okay,
Bond company will, provide that people with the bond company. They will set your payment, they will set the percentage of what will come out of the sales tax, just like they did the first one.
yeah, and the idea is that it doesn't change the situation,
No.
the way people are paying taxes currently
No.
are, our situation will stay the same.
It ain't gonna cost the taxpayers
Yeah.
of what they are already paying. I mean, it ain't. Cause the biggest problem we're running into, like this year, their budget, just out of the law enforcement tax, a little over 1.4 million. The projection is just 1.2 million. They had 700,000, a little over 700,000 carryover, so out of this year, they're already getting to the carryover 200,000. So the chances are this fall, the carryover is gonna be around 500,000. Next year, it's gonna be around 300,000. So in 3 years, you're looking at, they're gonna have to get another 200,000 or 300,000 out of county general, which we're already using our carryover in county general right now. So we don't have nothing to give, I mean, Jay started talking, Green County Jail actually makes money for the county by hauling federal prisoners.
So is Dallas County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money to do that. But here's the thing, when we started this thing, we're looking at probably well over 2 years completion
Right.
of the project of this size. It takes a long time to get this done, because I remember how long it took for this one here. We don't need to wait. I think the key to success is just planning ahead on these financial, monetary decisions, We need to wait until we're in the line to make a decision, one way or the other. I'm afraid.
Well, this line is done. I mean, it's done.
It is coming.
Whether we want to get ahead and start trying to make the money to counter offer, or we wait until it's here, break county general for this.
Well, it won't take very long to break down, We've got that thing in shape by now, better than it's ever been. I don't want to see that thing get down to where we're back trying to lay people off and terrorize us and, cut services and everything else. We need to try to continue to fund the road. But the only way we're gonna do that is with some aggressive thinking and planning and all. And, I think it's incumbent on us as a form of board
anytime one of our deputies is working, is transporting, or say one got sick, we took him up to the hospital. The time they loaded him up until the time the inmate comes back, the marshal, whoever the fed is going to reimburse, they will reimburse the deputy's pay, they will reimburse the port, they will or have, I don't know what the word is, but like what we pay for the health insurance, the time that they're taking him, they reimburse for the health insurance, the mileage, I mean, it's all, it's not, it taking care of them is not gonna be out of our pocket, because they reimburse for it.
How many jailers are there per inmate? What is it?
All we have to do is be compliant with the state of Arkansas.
What is that? What is it?
I don't know the number per count, I think it depends on the facility.
How many we hold now?
Right, okay, our facility is only supposed to hold 25.
Right.
We never hit the 25 number, and I try hard to get there, but it's not possible. It's working, there's product when you work, and so that
So
product.
25 is already, you look about 3 days. One day,
Essentially, yeah, you can initially begin with one jailer, an additional jailer on each shift, so there's 3 shifts, so, and that has for 7 days a week, so that number of people, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
So have we got a projected figure on the 25 bed addition?
No,
Oh, on the cost of construction of the income.
And we can do this?
The 4 million would be 50 beds, would be the project price for the total project. And so, yeah, that's 50.
And we're gonna do this without any taxpayers in the
what this is like,
It's the only way we can get it.
the way, on our road, you see that sheet, that give you on the sales tax. On the bottom of it, 17.5%.
Yeah.
That's what we, once that, paid for, we do an addition, that's what, that would be.
But it's, I think it's 4 million, right? But the interest rates aren't what it was, but then again,
Yes,
it's
they are.
at 3.5%, right?
Yes. We can get along, because that's my biggest fear, the way homes are right now, and the one we have right now, what is it, 3%?
Up to 55.
So I contacted USDA Harrison and told them, hey, we're looking at adding on, like what I tell them, 3.5 million, just an idea. And it's 3.5%.
That's pretty good, that's pretty good.
For right now, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking around 5% is what they would charge.
But we have 25 beds now,
Yes.
39 people in the jail. And we add 25 to it, that would leave room for 11 prisoners, so that's not very big, that's not very big income.
Fair.
So if we could do 25,
I have to work hard to reduce it, because
we're not gonna make the money on filling the jail.
understand, I mean, it's not easy, and so, I have to.
It's not as easy as it sounds, is it?
Other places. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying off of the weeds. So, the point is, with the when we get to the 50s, he's suggesting phases. So, I may have to have a portion of the frame in order to create, the red one. I mean, that's just something I'm just gonna have to decide as a sheriff. I'm gonna run a crowd. I'm running a crowd now. I don't have it.
We just want to fill it up. We just don't want to fill it up with no income.
Right.
Because we're out for $1 million, that's what it came back. So more clear this, we have to figure it out.
Well, the bond,
But the bond, what I'm trying to do is keep them out of county jail.
Yes.
and
So
then,
that's the budget, but I'm worried about, I ain't worried about the bond.
so,
We can take care of the bond.
yeah, it's, the revenue generated, its intention is not to pay for the jail, its intention is to pay for staff and the costs associated with the operations, there's a story about when the county's jail, and they built this big nice jail, and they forgot they have to pay people to work, you know, and so, we want to make sure that that's not a situation we run into.
It seems like it would take a lot more staff to meet with grade 25 federal prison. You guys,
No, no,
That'd be good.
Visual sterling about it, and he's on for.
My concern is that they probably have to be segregated, but they don't have to,
They don't.
put them in the regular, as long as they're fellows. All the federal prisons, the fellows, and everything you got in jail out here is a fellow. Except it's an overnight hold, but they're on for every instance.
Well, this certainly is, you know, stimulating some thought, and we're gonna have to. Make a decision, gotta go through the voters, and questions, and all that kind of stuff,
So
so.
one of the things that we're probably gonna have to do is, you know, we're gonna have to have a little bit closer idea. I know that they've done the best they could, but until there's some kind of plan, and that's gonna cost us money to all do.
That's, they don't, they're not going to use the blueprints, they sat down and drawn pictures and showed what their suggestions are, but we've not paid them. They converted our blueprints to digital for us and done a few things, but
So how much money are they looking at for a set of blueprints?
$12,000 for blueprints.
I tell you, it's a very,
If we commit,
it's a very intricate blueprint for the jail. The jail is not a commercial building, and it's not serving on residents. That does not seem like a whole lot of money for set blueprints for jail. I really was involved in building that. I can tell you that for me personally, I was not satisfied with the company that built this man. They won't listen to anybody, you can't talk to them. At the end of the year, guaranteed, you kind of told what I thought of something that was there, as I generally do. But anyway, there's a lot of things that should be done for the next one. There are certainly flawed. You need to be someone who built a lot of jails and built a lot of that.
Okay, well, any other discussion on this matter?